Rosie. She's your next year's student body president. Hi, I'm Rosie. Oh, that's loud. Okay, so your next year's student body officers are Vice President Kaylee Noyes, Secretary Lauren Woodhead, and Treasurer Carlton Hall. So we're going to start off this assembly with our class chants, starting with freshmen. That'd be lovely. All right, freshmen, graduation year. Sophomores, 1-9-1-9-1-1-1-1-1-9. Juniors, 1-8-1-8-1-1-1-1-1-8.
So, about 2 weeks ago, I was cruising through the gym about seminar time, and it was, I like to call it NBA, that's the New Basketball Association, those seniors that are playing basketball there. And one of the seniors brought me over and said, Mr. Messick, we'd really like you to consider giving the senior send-off speech. And I looked at her like, no. I guarantee there's somebody who's made a much bigger impact on your 4 years than I have. I'd be honored, but take some time, think about it, and find somebody that really means something to you. So I put it on the shelf, didn't think about it for a while, And about a week later, it was actually last week, Taryn came up to me and said, Mr. Messick, we decided we want you to give the message. And I looked at her and said, you sure? She said, yeah. And I thought to myself, why? Why would you choose somebody that, makes you move your car or gives out lunch attentions like candy or calls home and tattles on you? No clue. And the thing is, I was originally right about somebody making a bigger impact, and it dawned on me last night or this morning about 2 a.m. I was going through Twitter and I found this tweet. Kevin, do me a favor. Can you read that for me?
Being a positive leader doesn't mean you put on a smile and accept mediocrity. It means you see the potential in others and inspire and challenge them to reach it.
I can guarantee you one of these folks standing before you made an incredible impact on your life in the last 4 years, and now is the time to thank them. Give them a hand. Pretty well deserved. Speeches. In my career, I've kind of looked back and I've had an opportunity to be a head football, head boys basketball, head golf, and head track, and just in the football and basketball alone, I counted up in basketball. In football, I gave 132 pre or post game speeches. And in basketball, I gave 468 pre or post game speeches. So that adds up to a little over 600 speeches so far in my life. And by the time I'm done, you're going to wonder, why wasn't he any better at this? But never have I given a send-off speech. Never. And I really don't know if this is a pre-game or it's post-game. Am I supposed to talk about what you did for 13 years? Or am I supposed to talk about where you're going to go? I didn't know, so I Googled it, because that's all you've done for 4 years. And I couldn't find anything I loved. So I thought, I'm just going to go with 3 principles that hold true to my heart. And I try to live my life by. I don't always do it, but I do my very best. The first one, and as any coach knows, you got to keep it to 3 simple points. So the first one is you want to be patient and persistent. I learned this from my dad. I grew up on a farm about 50 miles north, and we didn't come from a lot of money. And so my mom and dad did their very best to take us on a trip to get out of Mound City, Missouri once a year. Depending on the year, once in a while it was Minnesota, sometimes Colorado, sometimes, if the year wasn't as good, it's just Kansas City. But in my dad's value was he had to keep his farm, he had to get his farm taken care of before he left town. And part of that was mowing the grass. So every single time before we go on a trip, I had to go mow the grass and get it all done. And part of that was weed eating. And I hated that. But the last part I had to weed eat was this big white implement shed. And so I'd go down, I'd weed eat across that thing, and the minute I was done, I'd throw that weed eater in the shed, and I'd run up to the house, start to get packed, because I'm going on a trip. And every single time, my dad would call up from the shop. At that point, you could call your own number, and you'd call from the shop up to the house, and he'd dial the number. It'd be 3, 9, 8, 0. And I could hear my mom. It's my dad on the phone. He's like, send him back now. So there I go, walk back down the hill. And what's my dad do? Every single time you got to get the garden hose out and you wash the grass clippings off of the white shed. I had no clue what he was doing except torture at the time. But when I look back and I reflect, he was teaching me to be patient and persistent and not expect immediate gratification, because so far, at the time we live in, that's what we get. The second principle I want to talk about is the ability to adapt an attitude of service. And I learned this from a colleague, mentor, and best friend of mine. And he quotes it as this: "You never truly learn about your own heart until you touch someone else's." And it's true. I challenge you, when you leave here, be a part of a club, organization, something that's bigger than yourself that touches someone else's hearts. Third piece was make value-based decisions. I learned this one from the Good Book. A little controversial here, but this one could be the most difficult one to follow, because it might not be the one that your friend to your right's following or the friend to your left's following. John 8:16 says, "But if I do judge, my decisions are true, because I'm not alone. I stand with the Father who sent me." That translates to me, if I hold true to my core values, make decisions based on them, my life will unfold in the way it's destined to. Now, you're sitting there, is he ever going to give us some real advice? So here it is. I'm going to share with you the best, most secret knowledge I have. It comes from a message I heard years ago, one given by a guy named Neil Gaiman. It's about the secret of jobs. Some of you have worked the majority of your life. Some of you may have just recently got your first job. Some of you never worked a day in your life. Regardless of what category you fall in, the majority of you will have to get a job sometime in your life. I hate to tell this, because we got a lot of 9s, 10s, and 11s still sitting here. We got to live with them for another year or 2 or 3. But people get hired because somehow they get hired. But most importantly, people keep jobs because their work is good, they're easy to get along with, and they deliver the work on time. And you don't even need all 3. 2 out of 3 is okay. People will tolerate how unpleasant you are if your work is good and you deliver it on time. People will forgive the lateness of your work if it's good and they like you. And you don't have to be as good as everyone else if you're on time and it's a pleasure to hear from you. Put that in the bank. That's the best I got. Here's the deal. From the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough for taking me in as a complete stranger and into your life and treating me like a forever pirate. Now go, find something you love or someone, find success, find failure, fail a lot, because that's when you learn. Find your passion, leave the world a better place, and most importantly, live like a pirate.
Okay, before I turn it back over, real quick, couple of announcements. Seniors, you need to be here. If you have not turned in your checkout sheet, you need to go to the office after this, front office, turn that in if you have not done so already. And then next Friday, on graduation practice, you need to be in the South Gym by 8 a.m. and you need to have your cap and gown with you, okay? 8 a.m., South Gym, cap and gown with you. Okay, another announcement. This is for everybody. We are hosting district baseball starting tomorrow. We're not playing tomorrow, but we are playing Monday. Our game starts at 2 p.m., which means it's going to be going when school is not out already. So, seniors, please come back and support the guys. Underclassmen, if you, on Monday, starting Monday morning, if you want to purchase, because it's a mission event, it's $5 to get in. If you will purchase an advance ticket on Monday, sometime before the end of the day, before that time, you will be allowed to come out and go to the game, 7th period, unless you have a final on that day, okay? So, starting Monday morning, you'll need to bring $5 if you want to go to the baseball game, and we can pack that stadium and give the guys the support they deserve, okay? All right.
All right, seniors, so you can exit this way or that way. Pick up a flower when you exit, and they will hand you a ribbon. Then head to the teachers to get your ribbons tied, and then you can go find your underclassmen to give your flower to.